Hi, everyone, and welcome to our presentation today on how to automate and enable hybrid accounting teams. My name is Dylan, and I'll be your host today. I'm a channel development manager here at Sage AP Automation, and I aim to help clients like you discover the benefits of Sage AP Automation for their businesses. For the agenda today, we're going to start off by focusing on the impact and legacy that the pandemic has had on accounting teams and what the new norm looks like for them. We'll then look into how these accounting teams are embracing hybrid work and how AP Automation enables a new hybrid or remote environment. And lastly, we'll have a product demonstration to show you a high-level understanding of the features that we offer here at Sage AP Automation. And then we'll close things off. The pandemic has broken through both cultural and technological barriers that prevented remote work in the past. Even as workplace restrictions start to ease, companies like Shopify and Dropbox have already announced that they plan to remain remote first, while many others are opting for a hybrid work approach to reap the benefits of both worlds. We're seeing the same trend within the accounting industry, as BDO, which is the 5th largest accounting firm, is now planning on letting their employees decide where they would like to work following this staff survey, where 79% of employees wanted to either continue working from home or adopt a hybrid work model. Last March, after the World Health Organization declared the coronavirus outbreak as a global pandemic, only 37% of businesses had the right technology in place for employees to conduct critical business operations from home. And this meant that accounting teams across the globe who were still relying on paper-based processes, such as managing paper invoices and cutting checks, had to make dramatic changes to their traditional workflows. Prior to the start of the pandemic, many businesses were still resisting digital transformation, with many leaders wanting to physically sign off on checks and keep the processes as they were. However, by August of last year, businesses were forced to put end to these paper-based systems, with 72% of CFOs and VPs of finance ranking cloud-based applications as their top priority. And according to a survey from the Association for Finance Professionals, in the last 2 months of the pandemic, 65% of organizations had shifted from paper payments to electronic formats. A survey conducted in May of 2021 by the Association for Canadian Studies found that 82% of Canadian respondents that worked from home during the pandemic found the experience to be a very positive one, with 20% wanting to return to the office every day at that point. 60% would like to return to a hybrid model, though, heading into the office to collaborate with coworkers while still working part-time from home. The top 3 reasons for preferring to work from home were the convenience factor, saving money, and increasing their productivity. The pandemic has also highlighted the importance of prioritizing mental health and well-being. According to one survey, 73% of correspondents felt that working from home has improved their work-life balance significantly. And then we had 77% of respondents believing that they were even more productive working from home, as they were experiencing fewer interruptions. There was more time to focus and less time spent commuting to and from the office. In fact, the survey revealed that more than a third of the respondents spent 2 or more hours each workday commuting to and from the office. So by working remotely, they've been able to use that time more productively. And the International Association for Independent Accounting Firms also found that 82% of accountants reported lower levels of stress compared to working in that office environment. So the opportunity to strike a healthier work-life balance and reduce the stress and anxiety is one of the key reasons why accounting and finance teams don't want to rush back into the office. As we can see, working from home offers several advantages, but remote work may not be the silver bullet for all of the employers and employees. Some of the downsides during the lockdown, of course, included dealing with distractions such as young children or partners working from home and missing social interaction you normally get by going into the office environment, both of which I can relate to. You can also see that 15% of accountants found it difficult to maintain a connection with their colleagues. So 87% of those surveyed said that the office is still an important place for collaborating with their team members and building relationships. Even though video conferencing tools have come a long way, nothing quite compares to being in the office with your colleagues to spark those game-changing initiatives. It's also much harder to whiteboard online. That's where the hybrid work model comes into play. A fully remote workforce may not be desirable or sustainable for many of the accounting teams in the long term, but adopting a hybrid work model incorporates the flexibility that most employees and some employers do crave. And that's having both the focus time and the collaborative time. But optimizing the hybrid workplace requires the right technology to support virtual collaboration and creativity, as well as scheduling and visibility. Some of the most common SaaS tools that accounting teams have adopted during the time in the last year and a half include Zoom, Slack, and Asana. But what about AP automation? Let's talk about that. Despite technological advances, accounts payable is still an extremely manual and paper-based process in most offices, and that makes hybrid work impossible. So let me explain why. At the start of the pandemic, 89% of small and medium-sized businesses were still receiving paper invoices, which was problematic as they were the only way to retrieve these documents was to go into the office. Many organizations were still cutting paper checks, and only 54% of organizations converted to fully electronic payments. Finally, finance teams also lost oversight into their spend, increasing the dangers of errors and fraud from occurring due to these manual processes. And in fact, 79% of the companies have seen an increase in fraud activities at their workplaces since the start of the pandemic. If your processes aren't set up for remote work, moving to a hybrid model can easily become a great challenge for your organization. Accounting teams that have adopted AP automation have been able to embrace the hybrid work and become more impactful. A survey done shortly after the start of the pandemic found that 63% of firms that had AP automation in place felt that it handled the impact of COVID-19 well and felt they actually had a seamless transition to the remote work situation. With AP automation, accounting teams can, first of all, access the critical information from a centralized system in the cloud. They can manage the AP process like approving invoices and submitting expense reports through the web or mobile app, and they can make those payments we're talking about remotely. In simple terms, AP automation is the technology that uses digital systems to reduce manual and repetitive tasks, such as data entry and writing checks. An automated AP workflow system digitizes the paper invoice, it automates the approval workflow, and it puts control of the approval workflow rules in the hands of the accounting department. It also allows for the electronic payments to vendors in any currency anywhere in the world. The best AP automation system gives you a 360-degree view into your accounts payable process in one central platform. Ideally, it supports the end-to-end purchase through to payment workflow. That's why Sage AP Automation has 4 modules to help AP teams better manage their payables from end to end. Let's take a look at what automating your AP means for each of these 4 AP processes. Purchase orders can be generated digitally from anywhere and get approved from anywhere, and then they get automatically matched to their corresponding invoices. Invoices can be processed up to 9 times faster while getting approved appropriately through the custom approval channels that are set up. And then they get stored away with the accurate audit trail behind them for future reference from either the employees at the company or auditors or anyone else that needs access. Then payments are quicker, easier, and more secure with automation. And you can set up a reliable and transparent approval process for vendor payments and easily look at the status of any payment at any time from anywhere. And then with the expense module built in, you get the visibility of employee spend as employees upload receipts in real time and then create expense reports from anywhere with a mobile app through the web browser. Sage AP Automation helps AP teams focus on the 3 R's of AP: reduce costs, reduce risk, and then remote work. So let's take a look at all 3 of these. One of the areas that automation really helps accounts payable is by reducing costs. By decreasing the amount of time spent on labor-intensive and inefficient tasks, organizations with AP automation have saved anywhere from 60 to 80% of the costs associated with processing an invoice, with the average coming down to $3 or less per invoice. By generating digital audit trails, it's easier to find and track every document and the approval channel that it went through. Flagging suspicious activities such as duplicate payments is the next thing, and then gaining 100% visibility into approvals, who approved it, what was approved, when it was approved, and how long it took. And finally, enhancing the visibility into the employee spend. This is going to help the compliance and reduce the risk of abuse and errors from taking place. And finally, AP automation helps the remote accounting team stay productive and access the critical information they need from anywhere. Whether your team is in the office or working remotely, you can access the AP from a centralized system in the cloud, make payments remotely, and manage the AP process like approving invoices or submitting expense reports through the web or mobile app. Here we have a real-world example of a customer that implemented the AP automation solution we offer right before the pandemic took place. They're not alone. All over the world, accounting teams and finance teams are embracing new ways of working. And accounts payable automation can help them be more impactful than ever. Since the beginning of the pandemic, Science World and their accounting team has been working mostly from home. Due to postal delays in the US and Canada, it's taken 6 weeks to deliver a check in Vancouver, and this is causing problems for their vendors, so they decided to switch to electronic payments. With AP automation, making these payments is much easier and has strengthened the relationships they have with their vendors, who are now receiving payments in less than 4 days. Finally, securing approvals from managers working remotely was easy using the approval channels and delegation feature. The AP teams have been able to customize the approval channels and reroute invoices automatically, preventing delays in their supply chain. Douglas Chow, who's the finance supervisor here at Science World, said that the pandemic has forced everyone to change their business model. Every single vendor is asking for electronic payments now, and with Sage AP automation, making these payments is a much easier process. So now, to give you a better understanding of what we mean here and the solution in general here at Sage AP Automation, my colleague Tina, who is one of the account executives here at Beanworks, is going to provide you with a quick overview of the solution. Before I do, I want to let everyone know that this will just be a 5 to 6 minute overview of the solution. If you're looking for a more personalized demo that includes all of the 4 modules in detail, please do go ahead and book this with us at the end of the session. I'll make sure to provide you some ways of doing so after she's finished. So Tina, can you share your screen now and take over?
Yep, absolutely. Okay, so here is the Sage AP Automation interface. As you can see, we do offer 4 main modules here on the left-hand side. So from expense reports, purchase orders, invoices, and payments. Here we do offer, a full-on AP automation solution from employee expenses down to payments, and it is fully integrated with your Sage 300 financial system. What you'll be able to do is upload your invoices directly into the system here, whether that means you're receiving physical documents still by mail, or we can also help you set up some electronic forwarding so any electronic invoice flows automatically here into our in progress at the invoice level. Once invoices arrive into the system, we'll be able to help you capture some of the information off of the invoice for you. That includes header information such as your vendor, invoice number, due date, subtotals, totals, and taxes. So all that you'll have to do is review the line item details. Now, if you are using a purchase order process, we'll be able to find if there are any purchase orders that relate to this invoice. You'll be able to see all documents side by side and actually adopt the coding that has already been applied on from the purchase order onto the invoice. We also have a smart code feature that remembers how invoices were coded the previous time. And so if you clicked smart code this time, the system will recognize this invoice from this vendor and populate the exact same details for you below. And finally, if PO adoption and smart code don't apply, you'll notice that all of these lists here are being pulled in directly from Sage 300. So you can jump in to your GL account, for example, and quickly type in a word of the string what you're looking for, pull that in, code, and submit it off for approval. For the workflows, we're able to create robust workflows based on any data point, whether that means invoices above a certain dollar amount, perhaps invoices from certain vendors coded to specific accounts, you name it. We'll create customized channels to approve all of your different workflows and include the appropriate people. They'll be notified by email, or we also have a mobile app that they can download on their phone to review invoices like so and stamp their approval or reject the invoice. After the approvals, we'll sync all of this information back over to Sage for you as an unposted batch to AP. After the export, everything will then be archived here. So you can think of this as your online filing cabinet. No more shuffling through paper or going through actual filing cabinets to locate specific invoices. You can quickly run a search in here or create PDF and Excel reports. To continue on, you'll be able to issue payments through our system as well. We can accommodate physical check printing for you, send out EFTs on your behalf, and we also have a virtual credit card program as well. At the create level here, you'll be able to select which invoices are ready to pay. Take them over to the next screen to now define the details of the payment. For example, am I paying this by EFT or by check? Do we have multiple different bank accounts set up? Define the details and then submit it for an additional approval workflow for payments. So completely eliminating the need to sign off physical checks, we can set up your approvers as digital check signers essentially. They'll be able to review the details of the payment and invoice and then stamp their approve or reject. We'll then go ahead and release the payment. And upon release here, we'll also send out an electronic remittance email to any of your vendors that are receiving the EFT payment. After they've been released, we'll also send this data back over to Sage, just like we did at the invoice level, but now it'll mark those invoices as paid. And then finally, you get archived and report, again, your 7-year storage of all of the payment information, and you can run Excel or PDF reports. Now to tie it all back at the top, we also offer our expense report module, where we have a separate mobile app that your employees could download and actually snap photos of their receipts as they incur it. They'll then be able to categorize their receipts, submit the reports for approval, and you'll see that your expenses eventually flow down into the invoice module as we've seen, where it could go through an approval process, get exported back into Sage, archived, And you could even continue on using the payments module for any employee reimbursements. So that pretty much summarizes the Sage AP automation platform in a nutshell. And then back over to you, Dylan.
Thank you, Tina. I'll take over the screen share from here now. As you can see here, we've got a special festive offer exclusive to all of the BAS Connect attendees. If you do book a demo with us and attend that demo as well, we're going to send you a $50 Amazon gift card just in time for the festive season to help with any of your shopping or whatever other events you've got planned. So all you got to do is visit the partners.beanworks.com/BAS Connect link you see on the screen. And that's just to sign up and see more details on this customized demonstration. There's some terms that apply, but basically, we just want to see you come in and get a closer look at the solution. Beanworks partners closely with BAS to ensure that Sage AP Automation is a good fit for their customers. And their team's also very well versed on the solution. So please do contact your BAS account manager if you have any initial questions around the platform. If you have any interest in attending a demo and missed the promotional link that's on the screen now, you can always get that from BAS as well, and they'll help you coordinate next steps. I believe they'll also be sending a recording of the presentation, so feel free to pass that on to other members of the team, or just proceed to follow up with us directly. You can send us an email at sage@beanworks.com, which is also on the screen. For now, I'll just thank you for joining me today, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your sessions here at BAS Connect.